I need to walk a bit. All right. So we're gonna change the screen into this one. All right. Interesting enough. All right. Nice one. All right. Captain's mode is on. Drafting session will begin right now with banner face coming from the Radiant side first. Radiant is by MUFC, and this time Invasion is gonna be on the Dire side. And there was a quick ban. MUFC decides to ban off on Knights right off the bat on the first ban. And Invasion has just banned on Bat Rider. Oh my gosh, why? You know, as the shoutcaster itself, it's always interesting to have a Bat Rider in a game. You know, Firefly here, Firefly there, and that sticking the palm is always a pain in the ass itself. Sorry for saying the word ass, but you know, it's true. All right, so MUFC just banned off on Visage on the second ban. Right, we're still gonna wait for Invasion itself to ban the second hero itself, and we will proceed to the picking phase where BO3 is picking out 2 heroes, and we'll be banning out 2 heroes once again. Another picking phase. Tiring indeed. Game 3 is on the way. Crucial match indeed. These teams can't afford to lose. And are they having a stand-in right here? I'm seeing from Mineski itself, Mr. John Lim is sitting down. Is he the stand-in for Team Invasion?
Dire team pick.
Alright, basically from my point of view, what I'm looking at is that on my left side is from Team MUFC itself, and on my right side is from Team Invasion Esports, where Invasion is trying to have a discussion right here on what are the strategy, what are the plans, what kind of drafting are they going to do right now itself, right? So decide to pick on Darkseer's offlane, an offlane hero for the game itself. And you can see from this point that they're still discussing what kind of hero they're going to pick out right here. They're just going to wait out to what MUFC is going to draft on this side. MUFC is kind of relaxed. They're still sitting in their own seats, discussing. Right? Quite some intense discussion going on in the Invasion side.
Anti-mage.
Anti-mage is up by Invasion. There goes the carrier pick right there. So they went with anti-mage before, and they're gonna go with it again this time because I think they believe that the anti-mage is good enough to give them the win for this one. It's crucial because this is gonna be the last ever draft they're gonna have for this match itself, for the Dota 2 AMD Dota 2 Invitational Tournament itself. Right, they have to make this the best draft they have ever made in their lives itself to be crowned the champion itself, right?
Of pain.
And next up we went with the mid hero itself. Invasion didn't waste long. They just picked out a quit of pain right off the bat right there. We already have the carry. We have the mid gang hero with the initiator as well. And we'll just look through what MUFC has in mind, alright? MUFC just went with Dragon Knight, right? As a second pick for the match itself. This is not going to be easy enough. As a shoutcaster, knowing that Akasha itself from the picks, Akasha can be offlane. Even Dragon Knight can be in mid lane, so it might differ. It's always based on how the concept, on how both sides going to pick out the hero itself. We still have to wait up for the third and fourth pick come from both sides to ensure that what kind of draft that they're going through right now. Right, so we're just going to go through with the banning phase right here. Invasion just banned off Chen as the third ban. And moving on with MUFC right there. They have to make every single ban and pick count in this game because with one wrong move, the other team might have the advantage itself in the match that's going to happen, alright? So MUFC just banned out on Fearin, and Sino didn't waste a single second. They just banned out on Alchemist. I think they already had that mouse cursor, the regular Alchemist. And it's like, I don't care what you pick, MUFC. I'm just going to ban off an Alchemist right off the bat. And MUFC just banned off on Lone Druid right there. Not sure why, since offlane is off, so they need to ensure that the offlane is not a freaking Spirit Bear and a freaking Lone Druid, alright? Because it's gonna be troublesome as well. Alright, tip pick come from Invasion itself. We're just gonna wait through because this might be the crucial part itself. Alright, the first two picks doesn't show anything that's gonna happen throughout the match. Basically, the fourth and the fifth one will really determine how the match is gonna be, or maybe by the third one it should be cleared up enough for me to actually explain to the guys. Alright, Dragon Knight, he might be the carry itself or the tri-lane itself. He might itself be the solo in the mid. Right, it all depends on who they're gonna send off in the off lane by Invasion itself. Right, it differs from time to time. It depends. Since Alchemist is out of the movie itself. Right, we have yet. Oh, Nyx is also off already. Right, since Nyx is banned off, Dragon Knight doesn't have anybody to actually counter him in terms of the attributes of strength. Right. Maybe we might be seeing an Enigma in the game. Right, always interesting. And here we go, there goes with a Shaker from Team Invasion itself. Is it just me or this is just a normal pattern which happened just now? But the difference is that Invasion is picking out a Shaker. Shadow Demon right there by MUFC. It's going to be catchy for tri-lane itself. So let's just do a rough recount on how the game is going to be, right? We might be seeing Shadow Demon itself with Dragon Knight on the tri-lane, while Dux is going to be off-lane. We have yet to see a mid hero for Team MUFC. And we know who's going to be the carry for the tri-lane itself. It's definitely going to be Anti-Mage. And Earthshaker is going to be... Ooh, nice itself now. Quite interesting in any game itself. It's always nice to see a Doombringer inside the game.
Lena.
So we will be seeing this time Doombringer, Earthshaker, and Anti-Mage on tri-lane, or probably Anti-Mage is gonna be going on off-lane against Darkseer, because I don't think it's gonna happen knowing that Anti-Mage has that magic resistance skill, which is the third skill itself. So he can live with Darkseer at one point of the game itself. Right, it's not going to be easy at the early start, especially when you have an aggressive Darkseer, which we saw yesterday. Right, and when there's a Doom, there's always a Lena right there, right? As Shadow Demon with Lena is going to be in tri-lane right there. We're not sure whether Dragon Knight is going to be tri-lane or which one. Right, we might be seeing this time a bit of confusion, but it's okay. Maybe the last pick from MUFC will clear things out for me. Right, Lena and Shadow Demon is definitely going to go in tri-lane. Darkseer is going to be off-lane, that's for sure itself. Quit a Pain might be in mid lane this time. Mid lane, and Anti-Mage should be Darkseer. So Earthshaker and Doom, maybe Doom will serve as the semi-carry for the team itself. Right, waiting for the last pick when they've already banned off on Weaver as well as Rubik. Who will be the last pick for Team Invasion itself for the Game 3 of the AMD DotA 2 Invitational Tournament 2013, alright?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Crystal Maiden.
Here we
Radiant
go.
team pick.
Even more interesting enough, it's already clear for which one's going to be for Invasion's Sinner. Because Invasion is going to go like this. Tri-lane is definitely going to be Crystal Maiden with Earthshaker. Right? And Doombringer is going to be carry for that one. While Quit a Pain is going to be in mid lane, while Anti-Mage is going to be off lane against Darkseer itself. Right? So the last pick come from MUFC should clear off who's going to be in mid lane. With Akasha, we think yes, Dragon Knight it will be sufficient enough to deal up with Quit a Pain, but we don't want to take that risk, don't we? Right. And have to make sure that eClub makes me shotcast with Toby 1 at this December. If not, I'm gonna kill them. Alright. Going to extra time for Team MUFC. They're still deciding on who's going to be the last hero itself. They still have 1 minute to decide. No problem right there. No rush. Gyrocopter. Alright.
Team pick.
Once again, Jessica Jung. For the third time today. My gosh, it's like I'm shoutcasting for the whole Invasion team game. Right? 7 casted for the MUFC. This is Game 3 for the AMD DotA 2 Invitational Tournament 2013, featuring MUFC, the Radiant side, Invasion on the Dire side, and we will begin in a few more seconds and waiting for these guys to pick up which hero they want. Right? So we'll go off with the Radiant side first. We're still waiting for who's gonna pick out on Darkseer right here, right? I can't see the end name out there. It's kind of hard.
Seconds remaining.
And we're gonna switch off to full screen this time. And here we go. We're just gonna have some fun with these things. Alright, alright. There's only the announcer pack.
Ready.
No mega kills, announcer. Maybe there's no mega kills. It's gonna happen in the game. Alright. So basically, we're gonna go through with Team MFC and the Radiant side first, where it's gonna be with AMGD. TFC is gonna be with Darkseer. Winner is gonna be with Shadow Demon. While Link is gonna be with Lina this time. And Han, I can't see the full name for that one, right? Link is gonna be with Lina. Alright, we just have to look through it like this, alright? Han Trash Player is gonna be using Gyrocopter, like seriously, the name's like Han Trash Player. And MFC, AMGD, FZEC, Y. My god, this is hard to pronounce, right? FZEC YY is gonna be using
30
Dragon
seconds
Knight.
to showtime.
And while on the other side, for Team Invasion side, we have Shang using Earthshaker, Jessica Jung with Crystal Maiden right there, Wu Yan is gonna be with Doombringer, Canton is gonna be with Akasha, and last but not least, the all-time carry Anti-Mage, which is gonna be controlled by Snow. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good luck and have fun to both sides. That's a beautiful set by Dragon Knight right there. I'm just taking
And
my
here
time
we
to look at
go.
the set if you guys don't mind, alright? So returning back into full screen view. We'll just see how it's gonna be for both sides
Double
itself in the
Radiant
lanes.
on one side,
We still
Dire
get
on
to
the
wait for
other.
both sides to return back into the lanes. Dragon Knight with a beautiful skirt right there. Sorry about that. It's a skirt, you gotta admit. Right, the kind of laning we'll be having this time is quite interesting. In top lane, doing the carry itself will be Dragon Knight versus Akasha. We'll be doing off lane. It won't be a problem right there. So we have a few studies right here. Dragon Knight, and we don't see any other heroes as well in the game. And in bottom we have solo between Gyrocopter versus don't know who, but it's missing. Right, in mid, quite interesting enough, we have Darkseer with Anti-Mage. It's like they already knew that Anti-Mage is gonna be in mid lane. Right, it's the same, he might not be off lane itself, but still the right kind of position of the heroes itself. It's just that it's in the wrong lane itself.
Dire's bottom
Right,
tower's
engagement in the
getting
top
the
forest
business.
itself, they just
Dire
saw
winning
Crystal Maiden in the
4-5 their
forest.
structures.
Shadow Demon leader right there. Should be careful, they know that both of these heroes are in the forest itself. Bottom, there we go. We have Earthshaker with Gyrocopter right there. Not sure if it's a good kind of matchup right there with Gyrocopter and Earthshaker. So top should be interesting enough. We have Lina, and that goes the catch by Shadow Demon. That goes the stun on Akasha itself. Dragon Tail right there, hitting up Akasha. A bit more. Last hit on Akasha. My gosh, 10 freaking HP. 15, 16, it's not 10, sorry about that. 15 freaking HP. One hit away from dying.
The Dire
nice
best
attempt
do
right
something
there.
about that bottom tower.
So Darkseer forced to be reckoned with, knowing that Iron Shell, he's just gonna keep maxing up that Iron Shell to ensure that he deals as much damage as he can. And Darkseer has that bottle right there to ensure that he has sufficient mana to keep casting off Iron Shell from time to time, to ensure the Anti-Mage can't keep a close range towards the creep to get hit by the Iron Shell. In bottom we have Gyrocopter with Earthshaker still battling it out bit by bit. So Gyrocopter keeps appearing and disappearing inside the lane as well. So Gyrocopter has no problem trying to get that last hit. on creeps. Not as good as Shaker doing that, you know, the tower is in the way, trying to get that big damage right there. Kind of a limit towards things like a Shoutcast game to ensure that it doesn't reveal or using the Shoutcast as a map hack towards the game itself. Alright, still no engagement itself. In mid lane, we're still having Dark Seals with Iron Shell itself. He has no problem trying to cast it on his own creeps because we don't think that anti-mage can come close into trying to kill off that certain creep itself because he's being the second creep coming up into the lane. So it's not being hit off by the enemy team's creeps. And in top, that Dragon Knight is farming off nicely in top lane. He already has that boots for mobility itself. So maybe the catch is coming on from Shadow Demon at one point of the game, and Akasha saw that coming. So basically he needs to make a run for it. Too much relies on Shadow Demon's catch. It's not going to be easy enough, and taking a risk on the placement of the Light Strike array is too much of a gamble, because if it misses, you're wasting it. And that goes the catch by Shadow Demon. And there goes the stun. Will Akasha go down this time? First blood by Shadow Demon. A nice placement of stun by Lina as well as Dragon Knight with Dragon Steel and coming out with the Breath of Fire right there. You know, Valve should change the name rap. Breath Fire. And like, what kind of brand was that? Like seriously, like Breath Fire? Like Breath of Fire, come on. Alright, so we're not gonna argue in Valve right here, right? So mid lane, quite interesting enough. Anti-Mage is holding up real well. He already has a Ring of Hell right there, so he doesn't care much of the damage coming from Iron Shell itself. Yes, he does care a bit, but I think now at least he can fend it off bit by bit and still regenerate at one point of the game. And to stop is going to be an interesting part. Crystal Maiden just spam off that ice. Nice Nova right there. And that goes the catch on Doom. You should watch out. And that goes Light Strike Array. A few more hits. And down goes by Shadow Demon once again. Shadow Demon with 2 kills right now. A good catch by Shadow Demon. He already has that boost of speed, so at least it ensures he has at least a certain amount of boost of speed to catch up against heroes in top lane. If not, it'll be just a waste. So despite having a blink from Queen of Pain itself, he can't blink out if he's being disrupted. As well being stunned at the same time coming on from Lina. And that coming out from the Dragon Steel stun from the Dragon Knight itself. So he should be careful about being catched. Or maybe if the timing from Lina were to be off, he might just be able to make a run for it, right? But it is unusual for that to happen, knowing that this is a tournament, and especially when the teams are fighting right now, it's the MUFC versus Invitational. You might just see that, you know, that's like an impossible thing to happen inside the game itself, right? You can't afford to miss out on those kind of little mistakes. Seems that mid we still have anti-mage right there. Right, Gyrocopter having the most last hits with most denies as well. 28 last hits on the 6-minute mark as well. So bottom being very passive. We can see the flat cannon right there in Kakarot. It's like that spread damage right here, but misses out on one of the... And then Lina dies off in top lane. Not sure what happened right there. They're trying to chase off on Dragon Knight right there. So Doom is trying to block off Dragon Knight's movement, but failed to do so.
The Dire best do something about their bottom tower.
A comeback from Team Invasion itself.
Dire's bottom tower got blown.
And since that the first tier 1 tower come from bottom lane, it's already destroyed by Team Dire itself. And that hero that destroyed is called Gyrocopter itself. Nice amount of push right there. He's relying on flat cannon trying to push off the creeps in a breeze to ensure that it's like an AoE damage itself. Right hits off a spread kind of attack like butter right there. And so despite having a 2-kill advantage by Shadow Demon itself, he
Guess
is on
what's
the
happening
lowest
to
rate for
Dire's
last hits in the
bottom
night.
tower?
He doesn't need it. Maybe it was just his luck on getting on that last hit for killing. Usually in a pub game, you know, when people are pissed off, especially when you're playing in a pub game,
Dire's
they
mid
will
tower
call
is
it as
out.
kill skill. And there we go. Call off, easy kill the mid lane, and down goes Snow, which is anti-mage. He was unable to blink out. If they can, the thing is
Dire's
coming
mid
from
tower
the
could use a
Dire
little
side. We
help.
have 2 blinkers out there. We have Akasha, we have anti-mage. If they can kill off
Dire's
Akasha,
mid
they can
tower
kill off
won't
anti-mage
last
as
much
well, right?
longer.
No problem right there. And
Dire couldn't
MUFC
hang
is
on
on
to
the
that
roll
mid
right here,
tower.
3-1 on the 8-minute mark itself. We're just gonna have a look to the experience earned for both sides itself. It seems that difference in for MUFC itself is leading for 500, and while in terms of for experiencing gold earns, there's few shifts going on in the experience itself from bit by bit. Maybe it's been caused by the kill coming from invasion before. Alright, on Lina. Alright, and difference in gold earn, it seems that MUFC is leading by 5,000 plus gold earn. Lots and lots of gold right there. Not sure how they got it, but few explanations. Maybe it's coming on from Dark just farming mid lane, or also coming from Garcot just farming the bottom lane as well. As well as coming the kills came from the top lane as well. And there goes the stun on Earthshaker. Not sure if they can go in for the kill. And down goes Earthshaker maybe. Earthshaker still few last hits. And the one wing down was Dark here. And Lina goes down as well. A field gang in the mid lane, so they were trying to kill off an Earthshaker, and Earthshaker managed to run back with a few HPs left. Less than 100 right there, but still managed to run off. Right, a nice support from the team itself. Nice support for Doom, as well as Crystal mid. And Akasha made it just in time to support for the team as well. Right, a beautiful Elder Dragon form by Dragon Knight right here. It's green in color because it's the poison attribute right here. When it's in green color, the attack deals poison damage, and no splash provided. It's only provided on the level 2 itself, which is on the red colored dragon, which is going to be the fire attribute itself. It's going to be a splash, fire damage. It's a flash, fire splash. Oh, sorry about that, right? And the level 3 itself, Dragon Knight is going to be in beautiful blue color form. It's going to be the ice itself. It's going to be with the slow splash as well as the cold ice attack itself, right? It's a force to be reckoned with at late game itself. You don't want to deal with an ice breathing dragon like Dragon Knight itself, right?
Difficulties.
So things are going to get interesting right here. We'll just have a look out. Engagement going on right here. Doom catching off the fire, being disrupted with the electrical stun. Doom is in the middle between the battle right here. Doom goes down. They're trying to go in for the kill on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden goes down. He got caught up in the battle itself. 2-0 trade-off. MUFC, 2 kills. Rocket barrage, but Gyro comes in the top lane.
Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
MUFC taking the tier 1 tower in the top lane as well. Second
Dire's
tier
got
1
last top
down.
tower.
Sorry about that, it's a tier 1. My gosh, I was being cited for the wrong kind of issues right here. Right. So we're just gonna have a look through anti-mage this time, right? It's quite a difference to as the build comes from anti-mage. Usually anti-mage would go directly from Ring of Health directly to Battle Fury, but this time, as you can see, from my point of view itself, he has a Vitality boost in here. Maybe he's going on defensive mode rather than trying to go on with farm. He's going on with the Vanguard, so giving him a double guard right there, especially when you have full man shield as well as Vanguard at the same time. So he's going to be very high durability right there, and he hasn't finished off the power threats right yet.
Dire's mid tower
Into the
could use
game.
a little help.
And there goes a Nova, which hits on Ducks a bit, but it doesn't have much. So they're trying to push off in mid lane right here, taking up tier 2 tower.
Dire's
A
mid
failed
tower
deny
is
by Akasha right there. And there goes stun. And there goes Ultimate Lina. Crystal Maiden goes down.
brewing at
2
Radiant's
kills in
bottom
mid
tower.
lane. MUFC leading 7-3 with 4 kill gap right here. Alright, it's time to do a chase on Dragon. And there goes Dragon Tails directly on anti-mage. And there we go. 7-6 directly, 3 kills from.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
after the
pretty
Dragon
sad
Tail
right
itself,
now.
Dragon Knight manages to run back into the base itself. And Darkseid just went down lane by Queen of Pain. So it might not be GG yet, because Invasion is back into the game with 7-7, having tied itself. This is why both teams are in the grand final itself, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that, you know, they're not giving up. They know they can win this. Each of them have their own skills of their own. They have their own specializations. They have their own skills. They have their own tactics and skills itself. But the idea is how they execute the skills as well. A game can fail whenever the enemy team takes advantage of whatever kind of form of games that you guys have, right? So let's have a look to Anti-Mage right here. He didn't finish off with the Vanguard right here. Maybe he's trying something else, or maybe he's saving Vitality Booster just for the Heart of Taras, or maybe just for durability purposes himself, just to survive in the game itself. I think it will prevent throughout the game itself, right? You need to be careful itself, right? Because a few concepts need to be cleared out in the game is that there's a Shadow Demon for catching purposes. There's a laner right there standing, you know, being on standby to ensure that his stuns out here being disrupted, and the Soul Catcher really deals a lot of pain with extra bonus damage. And there's always a Gyrocopter right. We need to watch out because there's also a vacuum coming from Darkseer from Team MUFC, and we have yet to see a Wall of Illusion being cast for the game. So it will be even more interesting at one point of the game itself. While on the other hand itself, we have from Invasion. No, they don't have any heroes capable of gathering heroes for the AoE damage, but they do have Earthshaker right there. So maybe Earthshaker will try and find the right time to use his to go in and place that ulti. A proper placement of ulti itself would do really well. Right, and a nice Nova come from live. We have yet to see Reli's ulti to be casted off yet, and a cautious proper Sonic Wave. And here we go, engagement in the bottom lane. And there goes the stun on Darkseer. Darkseer goes down. Darkseer was really doomed by Doom. My God, they should find another name for the skill set, right? Like being doomed by Doom. Like seriously. Right, you can see that Dragon Knight position top lane, and now he's gone.
Top tower's getting beat
But
down.
it's okay, returning back to the bottom lane, quite interesting. Now we have Gyrocopter right there, hitting off creeps like it's a mosquito bite. Right, have the flag cannon right there. He has the face boots to give him attack damage. He has mobility stuff right there. He has the Ring of Aquila. And maybe he's almost done with the Black King Ball right there. You can see that he already has the eClub as well as the Betrayal Hammer right there. And just in case for survivability as well, he has the Magic Wand. Right, we just have a look through how Lost denies about kills and death probably for this time, right? Shadow Demon leading 4 kills and 1 death. And coming on second is the Earthshaker. Surprisingly, the one having the most kills itself in the match is actually a support hero as well. Maybe they were lucky enough to get this last itself, or maybe Earthshaker itself, or maybe, you know, damage coming up from the Shadow poisoning from Shadow Demon itself was the one causing all the damage. And Tier 2 tower coming up from bottom lane itself. MUFC going in for the chase on that Earthshaker itself. No, chasing up Akasha.
Radiant's mid towers.
So they're trying to push at the bottom lane right here. Will we be seeing a Tier 3 tower to be dropped down in 15-minute mark? It's too early, yes, even for the people itself.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Is this too much of a risk itself for the game?
Radiant's mid towers getting.
And there goes the block hit by Earthshaker right there. They try to start up on Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden way down. Vacuum by Darkseer. He didn't take any chance. He wants to span off that vacuum right off the bat.
Let's do something about that bottom tower.
Scary indeed. They're not taking any chances. They're going to spam every single bit of their skills right here. They're still trying to force it on the bottom lane. They want to rax the bottom lane, take that Tier 3 tower, which will give them advantage in terms of the strength of the creep itself, giving less gold for the enemy team, and ensuring that the creeps coming from the Dark Radiant side will be stronger at bottom lane itself. They're still trying to hit off in the bottom Tier 3 tower right there. Doom using up their fire right there, trying to do a slash, and he haven't used the Doom yet. Yeah, Doom haven't used the Doom yet, and that goes the stun. Will they be trying to catch a Dragon Knight? No. Earthshaker right there. Dragon Knight. Doom is moving too much to forward, should be careful right there. Anti-Mage too much in front. Anti-Mage just went in, he was gone in a jiff. He was gone in a blink of an eye. Doom is being stunned by the rocket coming from Gyrocopter away. And then being broken, the Tier 3 tower coming from bottom lane itself. They're trying to go in for Rex. They need to destroy those melee and range barracks there, right there. Hitting off in the melee, I see. Right? Because they are poison dagger right there, and there comes in Earthshaker. You see that Earthshaker has that dagger, and wall extends right there, and down goes Doom with Earthshaker's wall. Anti-Mage still waiting for respawn time right there. They need to push, they need to go in for the rank. Do not waste any more time on the creep itself. Hit it, hit it, hit it. And since the melee is already down, they need to take down the range as well to ensure that the Rex is complete for the bottom side. And the only heroes available for the defense is only Anti-Mage with Crystal Maiden and Akashi itself. So Akashi is waiting for the Blink Dagger's poison. Disruption right there. Down goes Rely. Every time Rely comes on into the match itself, they have no problem trying to engage with Rely. There goes Rocket Barrage right there. And it seems like Lucifer tries to make a run for it. It seems that the Rex at the bottom lane is complete. Raid inside having an advantage of pushing. MUFC is on a roll right now. Invasion needs a new strategy right here because they're not pushing. Alright, MUFC is currently leading 12-8. And the difference in goal is so big right now. In 80 minutes of the game before 20 minutes itself, Team MUFC is currently leading with 12,000, almost to 13k, like 12.8. Probably 12.8k goal difference against Teams Invasion Sinnoh. So they can almost afford 2 Divines at one point of the game itself. But I don't think they're gonna execute that itself, right? As well as goal, we just look at experience itself. No doubt about it, MUFC is currently leading. We have a lot of gap changes bit by bit right here. It was at one point that Sinnoh was leading in terms of experience, and now it's siding towards MUFC, coming from all the kills coming on just now. That would explain that. Right, so Invasion should watch out, because the sheer power comes from, they have advantage in terms of experience, they have advantage in terms of goals, as well as kills as well. Again, 4 kills right here. Interesting enough, we might be seeing another one being placed right here. And there goes the image Doom on Darkseer right there. Darkseer gonna cost 90 skills right there. Doom is being caught. And Disruption on Darkseer. Darkseer is down. Doom is down as well. Crystal Maiden is down once again. And buyback by Darkseer. He has a lot to show off right there. And Shadow Demon dies off by Anti-Mage. Still trying to chase off here from the back. Anti-Mage needs to be careful right here. He doesn't want to get stunned. And there goes the stun right there. Anti-Mage still have sufficient mana to go blink out. Right, we don't think Dragon Knight can make a chase right here. You know, he still has a blink. And obviously that blink should be at level 4 itself to make a run for it, right? Gyrocopter. Rocket Barrage right there, hitting off on Anti-Mage. Make a run for it. Anti-Mage makes a run. Run, Anti-Mage, run. Run. Blink if you can. Alright, so basically Rocket's gone. Interesting indeed, they're gonna push off into the tower and top lane this time. Lots and lots of Iron Shell being casted on himself as well as Dragon Knight right here. It's kind of funny, it's like having that big bulb of electricity on top of Dragon Knight's head. But it's like getting stunned repeatedly itself. This might be down for Lucifer. Dubring is down. Here comes BKB, Dragon Knight right there, shining gold armor. He's not actually in gold, it's just BKB, right? But this time he's not in dragon form, so it seems that he's still in cooldown. They should be if they can't fan off Dragon Knight in dragon form, how are they gonna fan off Dragon Knight when he's in dragon form indeed, right? Right, trying to push off in top lane this time. And they're only sending off the creep right here. And we don't see any heroes coming off from the Radiant side. Not sure where they went off right here. So they decide to try to push it mid lane. It seems that both sides still have 5 heroes in there. Let's just have a look through the buyback status from both sides. Which heroes can't afford to die itself, alright? So Dragon Knight is the only hero that can die off at least once, because basically he still has a buyback status itself. All other heroes are still in standby mode because they already buy back into the game. They should be careful right here. Hopefully Anti-Mage can make a game change into the game. He is the carry itself. There's a lot of burden on his shoulders right there. He is with the Vanguard. He has a Yasha right there with the Ring of Basilisk. Maybe he's going to change the Ring of Basilisk into the Ring of Aquila, or maybe going on even further with the Vladimir offering because he doesn't have a lifesteal. But at one point of the game, to fight for the game, he needs to have the Blanking Bar. If not, he's going to be repeatedly stunned and dies off, just like how it happened to Akasha, right? So basically, Aegis is down, Roshan dies off again. IP2 for Roshan itself, you know, he dies off once again. 200 gold for each of the Radiant side, and this time Dragon Knight has the Aegis itself. He has the buyback, he has the Aegis itself. He can die up to 2 times, right? And still buy back for himself, so he needs to ensure that he has enough money. And there goes Dragon Form level 2. Red in color, is it just me or that's in green color? Alright, sorry, that's in... supposed to be red, or is it that BKB? Alright, I'm not sure what's going on right here, but it still is a different color, right? It's not red, it's different.
Dire
Alright, it's
structures
definitely the
looking
red Fire Dragon. You
fortified.
can see that fire bursting out with the mouth as well.
Radiant's top tower
Big
is
iron shells right there. He's standing up Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter on BKB right there. Douglas Lucifer, it's like a failed dive right here. Not sure why Lucifer was diving alone. It was kind of like a waste. Nobody was there trying to support on Doombringer. He just went in just to die. Earthshaker going in for the stun right there. There goes the Sonic Wave from Akashi itself. Vacuum by Ducks here. And Dragon Knight comes back into the game. Not sure who's gonna stun right here.
Radiant's top tower is taking hits.
Alright, maybe trying to stun off Anti-Mage right here. Killing off Anti-Mage. Will Anti-Mage? Yes, Anti-Mage dies off.
Radiant's top tower is hurting.
They try to chase off on Akasha right there.
Dire's mid tower is having
Nice
technical
vacuum right there. As
difficulties.
old enough vacuum provides like a smoke stun. You know, since he's in vacuum form, the moment like your vacuum, there's like a 0.3 second interval itself, which serves as a stun
Radiant's top tower
in one
is
point of
taking
game
hits.
because you can't move, you can't still drink big vacuum itself. So the 0.3 second interval itself is sufficient enough to give you the kill, right? To ensure it, you know, it disrupts town portal itself. But despite all that, after all that, MUFC manages to increase the gap just by 1. He had a 5 kill gap just now. Right now, MUFC on 24 minutes into the game itself, MUFC currently leading 18 to 12, right? With 6 kill difference. And they have the advantage of 1 Rex and bottom, as you can see right here, right? Earthshaker right here, casting off, trying to fan off bottom lane using the enchant totem, and Reli's just gonna use up the Nova itself to clear up those creeps. It's not gonna be easy itself, right? Because this creep's already at mega form. Big Rax is definitely troublesome. It's a pain. It's a pain in the, you know. Alright. Wow, this is scary enough, right? I'm looking at it, you know. I don't think they mind anymore. They know that these things are going to die as well, right? But no matter right here. So we'll just have a look through how Dib is doing, right? He was, despite that aggressive tag diving in just now, despite having 3 braces right there with magic wands and 1 star shield, it is just insufficient enough to tank enough for the team. If he doesn't have enough support right there to support himself, he might just dive in, you know, like a solo dive with nobody trying to help him right there, right? You should be careful to kind of dive. And here we go. Is it Deagle's stun? Doombringer just died off, right?
The Eldwoods carry you to rest.
So with the disadvantage of not having Doombringer in the lane itself, they decide to push in the mid lane. Should be, right, 30 tower, a few more hits right there, less than 20% of health point by 30 tower. Down goes the tower itself, they need to go in for the racks on the melee barracks first, and then go in for rage, because melee has more creeps than rage, for those who did not know, right? So Dragon Knight doesn't even care, he's not even hitting on the creeps, he's just keep hitting on the melee barracks bit by bit, one by one, hitting off, so you can see that splash coming from the attack, flame attacks. Nobody's trying to fan off right here, not sure what Crystal Maiden was walking towards Dragon Knight knowing off, and Earthshaker got stunned right there, was unable to spend off all his skills that he had. And there goes Doom, dies off once again, 3-0 trade off, and Akasha goes down as well, buyback by Akasha. The only one who can fend it off right there is Anti-Mage, and there goes GG by Team Invasion. So the winner, the champion for the AMD DotA 2 Invitational Tournament 2013 goes to Team MUFC. Congratulations, and a job well done for Invasion for reaching out to the grand finals, coming from the losers bracket against Team against Team Mass in the semi-finals of losers bracket itself. So thank you very much to the people who come to watch the epic match in between in the grand finals itself. And next up, we will be proceeding with another grand finals featuring Team. I'm sorry about that. A few seconds to turbo, right? I don't know which team is going for the grand finals, right? Next up, we'll be having grand finals for the AMD DotA 2 Open Tournament 2013, continuing on from the match coming from yesterday, because we didn't have enough time to finish off the Open Tournament itself. And then afterwards, we'll be having the prize giving ceremony for the champion of the tournament itself, which is Team MUFC. Runner-up going for Team Invasion itself, and in third place comes from Team Mass, which is Malay All-Stars, right? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Flavor, and it's been a great honor to shoutcast for this memorable event itself. And stay tuned for more DotA 2 actions, right? Thank you.